What is going on, guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a very simple way you can prepare yourself for PvP come Season 3. Yes, you heard it. PvP for Season 3. This is going to be a beginner's guide completely because I know a lot of people are just afraid in general of just doing PvP. They're afraid to flag up, they're afraid to go into OPR for the first time. You know, I understand the worry about going in there and just getting, smashed basically because you don't have the right gear. This is going to be completely off the norm. We're not talking about gear at all in this one. We're going to be actually just looking at specific enemy types you can train against to get you good at PvP. So there's a couple places you can do this. Currently I am at Atalis Foundry, at least that's how I like to say it, over here in Ebonscale. You can do this also over in, I think it's Eden Grove. Eden Grove, yes, you can do it here as well at Acadia Keep. So let's just jump in and show you what I mean by this. For a new world, new player, you just hit 60, your gear score is 500, and you're afraid to PvP, what can you do? Well, you can find enemies that use weapons that you are afraid to fight against. For instance, let's use this bad boy right here. Let's see if we can just pull one or two of these guys. So we have a sword and shield guy, we have a great X guy, and we have a dog. First, we're gonna get rid of the dog because we don't want him messing up our stuff. So, and just in general, what you can do is you're going to practice dodging those skills because they're going to be using skills that you're also going to be fighting against. See right there, you choose Reap. He's using Shield Bash. It's a good way to fight against people, or not people, but NPCs, and get an idea of how the skills work. They might not work exactly how they work in PvP, but it's a good gauge on how you can dodge, the distance as far as how Reap works, things like that. So we got rid of the dog. So we have a Whirlwind, Reap. I don't know what else. Maybe he uses Charge as well. So we got Reap right there. And then I think he uses Charge. If you back away, he's got Whirlwind. And then obviously Shield Boy is going to be using Shield Bash, Shield Rush, and I think it looks like he uses Defiant Stance, I think, which is hilarious. So it's just a good way in general to practice PvP. I mean, don't just try to face tank these guys. You should be trying to dodge attacks. I'm not doing a great job now. But in general, this is a great way to practice PvP. Now, these guys are not easy by any means. If you are fresh 60, these guys will be tough as hell. It's also a great way to practice your detonates and stuff. So don't take this as a good showing. I'm just trying to smash these guys real quick. So right there, he's trying to use Reap. And we have, maybe you want to do one of these guys at a time. Try to pull one slowly. That's probably your best bet. This guy is just a sword guy. He wouldn't be a real good, test, but he does use different skills than the other sword and shield guy. He'll use Leaping Strike. I think he uses Whirling Blade, I think, as well. So there's his Leaping Strike. So we get two sword and shield guys. I just want to see what else he uses. There's your Shield Bash. Maybe he doesn't use any other skills. But anyway, this is a great way to practice against NPCs that use PvP-like skills. They might not hit as hard, they might not be as fast, they might not be as smart, but in general, it's a good way to practice against these guys. Dodging mechanics, their shield bashes and things like that are slightly slower, but it's a good way to gauge how far the distance is, like I said, how the mechanics work. Like he just used Defiant Stance there, and he's probably gonna get some crazy health back once it ends. Let's see, I'm trying to wait and see if he... Does he get any health back off that Defiant Stance? Or Defender's Resolve, sorry. I keep saying Defiant Stance. I'm waiting for his health to go back up. Did it end yet? No, not yet. So it ended, his health did not go back up, but as you can see, oh look, we got a transfer. As you can see, they're using skills that PvP players are using. Look at that. He's shield bashed me, so this is a great way to practice. Now, I'm gonna try to kill this guy real quick, and then we'll go in and try to find another enemy to fight against that has some similar mechanics, something you're gonna see in PvP. Let's get rid of this guy, finally. Alright, he's done. Alright, so now let's go try to find somebody else. I wouldn't suggest just fighting the big dudes. Obviously, you can use any NPC and fight against them and practice your PvP skills. I'm running in PvP gear. You don't need PvP skills. These dogs. I'm going to skip through this guy so you guys don't have to watch this crap. Alright, so right here I found another Great X guy that is actually using... Whirlwind, Reap, and he's using, what was the last one he's using? I always forget because I never used it. Can I check real quick? He's using Execute, actually, which is kind of nice. He might not have done it yet. It's Whirlwind. I'm hoping he uses it. There we go, there's Execute. So right there, like that's doing some good damage. It's showing you how the mechanics work, how you can dodge it, if you can dodge it. I obviously did not. I'm trying to find a spear guy. I thought there was a spear guy here as well. Alright, so at this location you're also going to find spearmen, which are also great to fight against, because again, they use the same mechanics. They'll have similar skill sets. They use heavy attacks, light attacks, they'll use perforate, they'll use sweep right there, as you can see, but I had grit up, so he wasn't going to be able to get me down. So like I said, you can use these places to practice against NPCs that use legitimate PvP mechanics. They'll dodge, they'll use skills. The healers in here will also heal. Look at that. That's some good damage for a spear. So, as you can see, these kind of places really work well for new players. As I said, if you are 500 gear score and you're just coming here, these guys will be extremely tough. Just pull one if you can at a time. Practice dodging the mechanics. Practice, you know, the timing in general for your attacks versus their attacks. Test out builds. Like I said, this is not the end-all be-all for PvP. This is strictly a beginner-only how to just get generally good at PvP. So here we are at Acadia Keep, looking at the these NPCs as well. As you can see, there's a bowman right there. I don't know why these other guys are not aggroing, but we got a bowman. He's using rapid shot. He's using explosive arrow. I don't know what his third ability is, but we're just going to go in and start fighting these guys. Totally missed that. Awesome. And so these guys are a lot easier than the Atalis Foundry. Obviously, none of these are elites. There might be some elites further in. So use this probably first as your first go-around for PvP. Once again, this is Acadia Keep in Eden Grove. This will probably be your first spot to really practice your PvP timings and skills. They're not all the same enemies as they are over at Atalis Foundry, but it's a good way to start. And then once you start getting into your 550s, 560s, you're working your way to 600, you can move over to Atalis Foundry. I went back and I tried out East Sands Camp. It's a little boring, a little too easy. Doesn't really make much sense to fight there, so I would just prefer these two locations, Atalis Foundry and Acadia Keep. I'll throw a little more gameplay in here as I'm running around and see if I can find anything specific. I'm looking for like a healer. I don't think we're gonna find that here though. We're gonna try to look around because I like practicing assassin builds against these kind of healers because they're pretty bulky, especially at Atalis Foundry. Oh, nice. There's a nice 100 gold. Another bow guy up there. All right, what do we got here? What is this person? All right, we got a sword and shield. We got, looks like an ice person. Yeah, ice. Oh, this is bad. Stuck. But they're not elites, except for this one guard for some reason. Oh, no, she's got a big shield, that's all. And he's gone. So I'm trying to find a healer, but there might not be one here. You'll definitely find healers at Atalis Foundry, so use that to your advantage. Practice. Oh, we got a hammer boy. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So, good way to practice against bruisers right here. They're obviously not as strong, not as fast, but good way to practice against them in general. Right there. Mighty Gavel, I love it. That's what he's using. So, like I said, these guys use PvP skills for the most part. Shockwave. A smaller shockwave than what you'd see in PvP, but still good to practice against and get used to looking at, seeing the animation and just expecting it. Clear out right there. So he's using Gavel, Shockwave, Clear out. Love it. Not what you would normally see on a PvP guy per se, but if they're using maybe a one-shot build, they may be running that kind of thing. But like I said, use these to your advantage. This is great for any season. It could be season 6, season 8, doesn't matter. You know, 5 years into the game, 6 years into the game, this will still work well for new players looking to get into PvP. Use this to your advantage. So once again, guys, I appreciate you all coming in. Hope you guys like these guides. This is a very simple one, and I hope you guys, appreciate these weapons I got going on. Look at this. I'm still missing pieces for my armor, but man, I love these cosmetics so much. So once again, I appreciate you all. Peace out.